And welcome, folks, to Jalapeña, a Gargoyles Gargcast. I am your host, Jason Roy Gaston, and with me, as always, VHS Jace. And today, as you have no doubt noticed, we are looking at the episode called The Mirror. And it's about a mirror.
Yeah. Can I put this on Front Street?
Yeah, sure.
This is a show that I like, but I haven't totally really fallen in love with. But this episode took me a lot closer to that point. I, for some reason, connected really strongly with this episode this week.
I'll get into why I like this episode, but let me just say, I think that this episode is basically fantasy meets Abbott and Costello. And of course, we get the introduction to... Yeah, we get an introduction to a fantastic character, I think. But anyway, let's get started. We open with Demona in a museum, and she is trying to steal a mirror. I wonder if that is the mirror in the mirror that we're talking about. But we get two things that happen here. Number one, Elisa shows up with Goliath because somehow they know. And two, Demona finds out that Elisa's alive. And it's kind of a moment that just passes. She's just like, you? God dang, I thought I killed you. Yeah, so, yeah, the cat's out of the bag, I guess.
Disguised like a pair of glasses and a pantsuit.
I could just see in the clock towers, like, it's okay, Goliath, I'll be disguised. I will be wearing these glasses. Oh, come on, Elisa. No one will see through that disguise. Where did Elisa go? Who are you? It's me. Oh, Elisa, where did that other person go? Lois Lane does the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, where's Clark? Clark was just here. He turned into Superman.
What did you do to him?
Did you kill him? But anyway, after a short kerfluffle, Demona flies away. Hey, we visited that thing. That's Cleopatra's Needle out in Central Park. So, it's so funny whenever you see actual landmarks.
Yeah, well, we did too.
However, despite thinking that they had run Demona off and saved this mysterious mirror, it turns out Demona was just a distraction, and she has hired goons to deliver the mirror to her house. It's like Uber Eats, but with stolen goods.
They so played that scene out. I'm like, it's going to break. Something's going to happen.
Yeah, they really kind of did.
Job.
There's a lot of subversion in this episode, and it's good subversion. Some good animation, too, just simple stuff. I love this shot.
Did you just get an upgrade this episode?
It was handled by one of the good animation houses. Yeah. Now, the episodes pass between a bunch of different animation houses, and there's one really bad one, but this one's one of the really good ones. But anyway, Demona has stolen this mirror because she wants to summon something that's on the inside of it. And so she does a little incantation, and out pops Brent Spiner!
Look, kids, it's Data.
Yes, applaud, kids, applaud. It's Data. It looks like Lore right here, though. You can always tell it's Brent Spiner because he has a certain nasaliness to his voice. I'm not insulting the guy. It's just every time he does a cartoon voice, he always does it like this.
Look, here's the problem. Handled by anyone else, that character could have brought down the whole entire episode. But it's because of Brent Spiner's voice acting in this is one of the key reasons that I absolutely love that character. And he helps sell the idea of bringing that level of fantasy into the show. So, magnifique.
Absolutely. Well, anyway, this is Puck. And if you are a fan of Shakespeare, you know that this is a character from A Midsummer Night's Dream, the trickster.
It's insane that they're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, there is so much Shakespeare references in this series. I mean, we have Macbeth, now we've got Puck, we've got some more coming too.
They're ripping characters there.
Before ripping whole characters.
It was like tribute. Now it's just like, no, we're just going to take characters.
Oh, just wait until City of Stone gets here. That one's gonna, I love that one. Anyway, Demona has captured Puck and has wrapped him in chains His chain's made of iron, so he can't escape, because that is like the children of Oberon's weakness. And she demands favors from him. And so Puck is like, oh, I know exactly what you want. Goliath pops up on the mirror. Demona, you little minx. You just carrying a flame for that big boy. But as Demona's like, ew, no, I don't like him. Icky poo. Oh my God, look at those pecs. I forgot how rock hard they are. All of a sudden, not Demona. Oh my gosh, Elisa shows up in the picture. And Demona's just like, oh no, I want her dead. I want her to go. I want you to get rid of her. Get rid of that human. It's all in the wording, folks. So Puck, again, I love the way Puck casts his spells. It's just like he does the whole, Medusa in humans thing, but it looks good here. Yeah, and he fulfills Demona's wishes. In Puck's defense, he does exactly what she says. He gets rid of that human Demona and turns her into that gargoyle Demona. And that's our first commercial break. I just love that it's like dun 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 and then commercial. I don't know why that always makes me laugh.
Yeah, like that's a super hot gargoyle now. I'm just saying.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. Okay, I'll say it too. This is the episode that launched 1,000 dirty fanfics. Well, Demona says, "Oh, you got rid of," not knowing that Elisa is still alive, of course. Says, "Oh, you got rid of that human. Now we need to get rid of all the humans now." And so Puck's like, "Fine, whatever." And while this is going on, of course, Goliath and Elisa are just flying around. It's like, oh, look at this. Look at all this tension between us. Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
Is my loincloth tight or is it just me? Anyway. Puck, getting an energy boost from where he's at, casts a spell, and there is a bright flash of light that bathes the entire city. Absolutely. And remember what I said about landmarks?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's 24 years later, and it still feels.
It's just kind of. Now,
hang on there.
I am gonna say kudos to Disney Plus for not editing these episodes, because a lot of studios would choose to pretend like those buildings never existed. They did.
Yeah.
They did. I remember watching Zoolander not long after 9/11, and they digitally removed the buildings, and I just remember watching it thinking, wow, they did with computers what the terrorists did with airplanes.
Yeah.
But I meant that just like it was like sad. I was like, God, I wish they just left them in there.
That.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I could do that, being the guy, okay, we need you to remove those buildings.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably would have refused on principle, but then again, if I was getting paid, I ain't gonna pass judgment on the people who worked on it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. And you know what else talks? Puck, because he misinterpreted the wish again, purposely, of course, and turned every human in New York into a gargoyle, which is just fantastic. This is so great.
But it's the twist on them not knowing they're gargoyle. Like, that's the interesting thing, that the people get turned not necessarily know who they are, and the way they lose chunks of their memory. But you'll probably talk about later that moment where going, well, how did we fly if we didn't have wings?
Yeah, I think that is really
fantastic.
I think that's really what helps this episode work, is that other people would write this episode where people are just stupid and they don't notice. But here it's like, no, the spell makes it so they don't notice. They think they've always been like this. And so they're just going along with their lives. And unless you have a reason to think about it, then, you don't really, it's like, if my hair was to suddenly turn red and, I was thinking about it the whole time. And then I'm like, well, my hair's always been red. Then, why are there black hairs stuck in my comb? It's because I'm going bald. That's why. Anyway, moving on. So the gargoyles are just kind of wandering around on the street. Yeah. First of all, I have a little bit of an issue with this scene here, and that is that these people think all this is perfectly normal, and the gargoyles are normal, and they look perfectly normal. Everything's normal. Why would these women walk by half-naked men and not look a little bit perturbed by it?
I have no idea.
Just kind of like, even if it was just like one of those things. But I always thought that was kind of weird. Be like, dude, put some pants on.
Yeah, the mouse in the house is starting to get a bit uncomfortable then.
So Goliath is telling Elisa, come fly with me. There's absolutely no reason anything bad should happen. Well, Demona has found out in the meantime that all of the humans in New York City has been turned into gargoyles, and she tells Puck, turn the gargoyles human! Oh, no.
Wow, wow. We get to see a lot more of him, obviously, in that moment.
I remember the original airing of it whenever the loincloth flew open, and it was like, oh, wow. I'm just kidding. That didn't happen. Wow. But I gotta say, the loincloth game in this episode was really working overtime.
He makes a mighty fine specimen of a human.
Indeed. All of them, good job, guys. Good job.
Actually, all of them look like they could get a date with someone.
Yeah, they could get it. I ain't gonna lie here. Except maybe I don't know. Brooklyn looks kind of weird. He's got that really long face, like the horse face.
I think he could do it.
But you've got big and beefy. You got tall, dark, and handsome. You've got daddy. You got twink boy, and then you got horse face. Poor Brooklyn. Poor Brooklyn.
Mate, look. I've seen that dude in heavy metal concerts all throughout my life. You throw an AC/DC t-shirt on him and a pair of jeans, and
give him a bunch of meth, Okay, moving on. So there's a lot of comedy in this where now the gargoyles are human, but they're still the monsters, and everyone in New York is a gargoyle, but they're normal. It's just a fantastic Keystone Cops kind of thing going on right now.
Too. It automatically makes you pay more attention. Like,
it does.
Wait, what's going on? It's fun.
This is one of my favorite episodes of Gargoyles, just because of how unhinged and silly it is, but with everything making complete sense. Demona now sees this as her opportunity to take out Goliath once and for all, because after all, he's just one puny human now, and she can take him easily. Whoops. Yeah. Apes together strong is all I can say. There's a very entertaining fight between Demona and Puck and all of the gargoyles, and they're using magic. And then we have one of my favorite visual gags of all time. And that is whenever the bystanders sees a bunch of humans, the monsters, attacking a lady, Demona. And they're like, we have to help her. And they all run down into Rockefeller Center to save the day. What are the gargoyles going to do?
Oh,
they act like monsters. So good. And of course, you get the whole, oh my God, no.
It's a great visual. It's a great little mind game thing.
There's so many wonderful reversals here, including Elisa finally gets to kick the crap out of Demona.
Yeah,
which is like, oh, this has been coming for such a long time.
And you have to have it, right? Because you can't have her be good and not them go toe to toe.
No, you have to get the cat fight in there. And you know what? Elisa did really well, I thought. I would have liked to have seen a few more punches to the face because Demona has it coming, but Elisa does smush her under a sign instead of just shooting her in the face, which, would have really solved the problem in the first place.
That's the mouse in the house going,
You can't kill anyone unless they're a parent. Death to all parents. So we get to the end, and Goliath promises to set Puck free if Puck changes everything back to the way it was. Goliath's really good at wording things just the right way. So Puck turns all of the humans, or all the gargoyles, back into humans, and then we get one moment where tale as old as time, true to say the least, both a little scared, neither one prepared, Beauty and the Beast. They really drive that analogy home in an episode called Eye of the Beholder.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, hang on. We've seen that one, haven't we?
We have not seen Eye of the Beholder, no. It's a good I wouldn't say it's a great episode, but man, it's got some really good animation in it. So yeah, there's definitely a little bit of romantic tension between Goliath and Elisa now. You know, she's just like, it could never work between us because I'm a human and you're a gargoyle, and then you turn to stone during the day, and oh my god, I just need to go nocturnal. But we're not done yet because we got another scene. Puck has had the time of his life, and apparently he could have escaped anytime he wanted to. But he's like, nah, you know what? I've had so much fun today. I'm going to give you what you've always wanted. I'm going to give you something you're going to like. And Demona is just so pissed at him. She's just like, will you just go, please? Just get out. And as the sun rises, Demona realizes, oh, I haven't turned into stone. I can feel the sun. This is the best day of my... No! She turns into Counselor Troy with red hair.
Look, I think as soon as I saw that, I went, wow, now that's an interesting element to add to the show.
And it's permanent. It's permanent.
That she has the ability to play the day and the night. It gives her a point of advantage that's really great. So
it is. It takes a character who is already a threat and makes her even more threater.
Yeah. Yeah, do you think... I just get this feeling that Brent Spiner had the best time voicing that act.
I have a Brent Spiner story.
Okay.
I met Brent Spiner. I think it was around 2015. He came through Dallas, and I was watching the panel. You know, of course, he's a clown. He has fun with everybody. But somebody in the audience, it was not me, asked about this episode and said, how much input did you get into the character of Puck? And Brent Spiner goes, the character of who? You know, from Gargoyles. And he looks at Gates McFadden, who was with him, and he looks at LeVar Burton, and he goes, I'm sorry, could you be a little bit more specific? And Gargoyles, you voiced a character called Puck. He was like a little imp. He cast spells. Brent Spiner has no memory of voicing this character. Now, it could have been a bit. It could have been him just having a laugh at everybody's expense because he is kind of a practical joker. But part of me... Yeah, it was 30 years ago, and, you know, I'm sure he's done a lot of voice acting, and maybe he's never seen the show before, and he's just kind of filed it away in the land of the forgotten. I don't know, but apparently Brent Spiner does not remember voicing this show, which it's a shame, but at the same time, it is a shame, but at the same time, we still have this magnificent voice performance, and we still have this magnificent character.
I don't know if he was playing it, because... Yeah. He's infamous for playing, you know, with people, with his interactions. He likes messing with people.
Yeah, so he could very well remember it. But yeah, anyway, we've been introduced to this wonderful character whom we have not seen the last of, nor was this the first we've seen him.
Oh, okay.
Yes. I will not. I will not.
Oh, because it's spoiled. Okay, I get you. All right. Well, let's
just say Puck has been lurking in the background the whole time.
Oh, okay. So
for a very specific reason.
The show's cue.
In a sense, yes. I don't. Does John Delancey show up in the show? I want to say yes, but I can't remember how. Lots of Star Trek characters show up in this show. The only one who didn't show up from The Next Generation was Will Wheaton and Patrick Stewart. Neither one of them made an appearance, which was, you know. And you know what? I don't know if Gates McFadden
period of Will Wheaton.
I don't know if Gates McFadden showed up in the show either. I don't know. We'll find out.
Patrick Stewart was making X-Men money. No, he wasn't then. No, he was doing Star Trek movies. He didn't have to.
Oh no, he was making movie money at the time. But we do get two captains who show up in this show, which is nice. Wow. One of them plays a rather large part, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Well, I look forward to hearing more about that. But this is an episode I enjoyed, Jason. Like I said, I think this is one of my favorites I have ever seen of this show. And I'm like, give me more of this, please. I'm okay with it. If you do it right, you know, like I said, fantasy, bring it, and it's not because they're bringing Shakespeare into it. To me, that would be fraught with danger. But so far, they've seemed to. I think they're being very clever how they're bringing that world of Shakespeare into kids' televisions. Like they're not
really
overplaying it, they're not underplaying it. They're balancing it just perfectly. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Good job, guys.
They really borrow from two sources in Shakespeare, which is of course Macbeth and A Midsummer's Night's Dream. And I love the way they do it. I mean, they really get into the Macbeth whenever City of Stone comes along.
You would have knocked me over the feather there. I'm waiting for the Romeo and Juliet episode. I was waiting.
Well, we do kind of have the Romeo and Juliet episode with Goliath and Elisa, but it's just an analogy.
Yeah.
So,
fair enough. Good stuff.
Let's see. What have we got coming up? I probably should have had this list up, but you know what? I'm lazy and I didn't do it.
Well,
so,
work out, isn't it? What the next episode would be, because
we have a Matt Bluestone episode coming up because we need more Matt Bluestone.
Is that the Silver Falcon?
The Silver Falcon. And you know what? It's actually a pretty good episode because, they do some things with Matt that I really like. Cool. And then they bring in another urban legend into it, the Illuminati.
Cool.
So, yeah,
well, we know they're real. They're real.
I have been instructed to tell you, no, they're not.
Yep. Ow! What was that?
I don't know. Are you okay? Did you just get hit by a trank dart?
Yeah. Illuminati are everywhere.
I don't know anything about that. Anyway, what I do know is that if you would like to support this dumb show that we do, please go to the YouTube video description below where you will find a link to our Patreon. There you can donate as little as $5 a month or more to our cause, or you can become a YouTube channel member by visiting the main page of this YouTube channel. Here's the picture. Look at that. That should have come up earlier, but I never think about it.
I'm not drunk in that photo either. I'm not drunk in that photo, and Jason doesn't drink. So.
No, I don't drink. I'm naturally like this.
Yeah.
Some people would call it an issue. I call it volumes.
Some other people would call it a 3-day mandatory hold, but got out of away from the police at this point.
All right, folks, join us next time for the Silver Falcon here on Jalapeña, a Gargoyles Garcast.